Now, as Ryan, Trenton, and Sean grab your attention towards the world of sports, food, and entertainment, and away from the things that are probably more important, we apologize for nothing and anything that may be spoken, learned, or forgotten today. This is the Real Tree Shaker Show.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Tree Shaker Show. I'm Ryan.
And I was asleep, Trenton, until Ryan got on the mic. So now I'm awake. Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm Sean, if I even need an intro. But welcome, everybody, to this late night edition of the Real Tree Shaker Show. In store tonight, the guys and I will be breaking down the South divisions of the NFL, the NFC, and the AFC South. Can Ryan's Bucks repeat, or is there a new player in town? Well, guys, we are less than 3 weeks from the boys' trip.
I know.
I can't stop thinking about it. So
Me either. It's going to be amazing.
I went like 30 seconds without thinking about it, but then I saw the Green Day Keurig set that got released. The American Keurig set. It looks pretty cool. That. Looks pretty cool. So, all right. Well, the boys have been eating tacos all night, and I have been serving cut fruit cocktail. But guys, did you know week 0 starts Saturday? And did you know that the ticket sales are already up 42% over last year? So how big is this? People are already jumping into this realignment. It's going to be unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, there's not many there's only 4 power conferences, so that's pretty much what you got, and the matchups are even better, this season. So
I mean, you're going to have teams with 2 or 3 losses in that in the tournament or in the bracket,
for
whatever.
Sure.
So
for sure.
And it should be that way because power conferences, everybody's going to beat each other up.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Definitely looking forward to it.
Gonna be fun.
Can't wait.
It'll be fun.
Can't wait. And real quick before we get started, the Bears Hard Knocks, which we've all been watching. Did you know that was the highest rated series premiere that they've had on Hard Knocks in the last 5 years? So
yeah,
people are buying into the Bears. I can't wait.
They are.
I'm a lot higher on Caleb than you two, but
I've kind of grown to see. I've watched him play and seen some good things out of him.
Telling you, man.
We'll see.
Tough
division.
We'll see it real game time.
Yeah, I agree, but he's just a natural, and I mean, he'll have a behind the back pass like Mahomes did not too long from now. So, with that, we have the NFC South first up tonight, fellas, and everyone is playing the AFC West and then the AFC North. So,
yes,
Ryan, you're the defending champs of this division. Why don't you give us your NFC South preview?
All right. I don't know if I should start at the bottom or the top, but I think I'm going to start at the bottom just because I like to finish strong. So,
well, then that means the Bucks aren't there. So,
shocker.
So in fourth place, I'm going with the Panthers. I know they were pretty horrible last year. I think they've made some pretty good improvements this year. I do see them going 7-10. Quite a better record, and I know it's tough when you look at that schedule to think where you get 7 wins from, but I think they'll be competitive. I think getting Dave Canales from the Bucks is going to help their offense for sure. Bryce Young in the sophomore year, he'll improve. They got some weapons for him. They beefed up their offensive line a little bit, so I like the Panthers showing some improvement, showing some competitiveness, and finishing in fourth place. Just ahead of them, the Saints. I have them going 7-10 as well. I I don't know that I see much has changed from the Saints. They were a 9-8 team a year ago, or 8-9, I believe. I just don't see much has changed from them. I don't think they're any better. I don't think they're any worse. But
9-8.
I think not 9-8. Yeah, I don't think a game. I think a game or two they could lose if they won last year. I don't know that Carr's the answer. Kamara's a year older. Questions about Olave to see what he can do too. I do think they've done a good job of beefing up their defense. I think their defensive backs will keep them in games. I think that's their strength, and that's what's going to keep them in those games. So I gave them a 7-10 record. So in second place, a lot of people's picks for the division winner, the Atlanta Falcons at 10-7. Obviously, they've made the most drastic changes of any team in the division. Getting former Bucs head coach Raheem Morris from the Rams. So always thought the dude was a great coach. I think he'll do a really good job there. Of course, adding Kirk Cousins, finally getting Drake London and Kyle Pitts a quarterback. So I definitely think that's going to be a pretty big improvement for them too. So definitely like that. I think I saw they added Judon. Am I correct in that? From the Patriots. So that was what everyone thought they needed in the draft, was a pass rusher. Well, they got him now.
And Justin Simmons.
Yeah, and Justin Simmons, I saw they signed him to a 1-year deal. So their defense is going to be strong, man. I really like the stuff they've done, and it's going to be a tough road, but I definitely could see them as a playoff contender for sure. With the moves they've made. First place, I do have the Bucs at 10-7. Also, I think they win because of their division record. I think they have a better record against the division. So, I think the Bucs, I know essentially they're kind of the same team too. But I think teams being in that system a year later, still got Vita Vea, still got Antoine Winfield, still got Levante David, still a really solid defense, which was pretty strong last year. I think adding Jalen McMillan to the receiving core helps, and puts Godwin in the slot, which will make him even better. That's a little fantasy sleeper. Chris Godwin's going to have a really good year this year, I feel. Baker getting paid, Evans getting paid, can only help them. I mean,
Wirfs got paid too, right?
Yeah, Wirfs got paid. So offensive line is set. I definitely like Graham Barton, the center they drafted out of Duke. Think he's going to solidify the offensive line. I think it's probably the best in the division. So I like the Bucs to finish first in that division at 10-7 and be a playoff contender.
All right. So 10-7. Out of the 3 divisions we've done so far, you have one team over 10 wins.
I know. I think it's going to be parity in the NFL this year. A lot of teams,
that's what they want.
Yeah, a lot of teams making improve. I think it's a story of two things: a lot of teams getting better, and a lot of those top teams kind of falling off a little bit, maybe not improving as much. So.
All right, very interesting. All right, T, let's hear your NFC South preview.
We'll do the same. We'll start at the bottom, which is going to be the Panthers. I think they have gained some more talent, some pieces to put around Young. I just think there's so much question in the air about how they're going to, be efficient this year. And losing Burns is going to hurt their defense. Plus the schedule. I just think simply like the teams they're going to face are simply just better than them. But I think they can sneak out 6 wins, though. It's definitely an improvement from last year. But I got them at 6-11. Saints, I have it at 7-10. Much like Ryan just said, they didn't necessarily improve a whole lot in my eyes. maybe they didn't need to, or bring in some other players or whichever it may be. Their defense is usually solid. It's the offense. I just simply don't trust it. I mean, can Kamara bounce back? A good chance at that. But
well, if he's not suspended,
yeah, if he's
part
not
of the year.
suspended. And then, I mean, you got Olave out there, but like his car, not only durable, but is he going to be efficient to run the offense? Maybe he's more comfortable in his second season there. I mean, there's a lot of maybes, a lot of questions there. And again, I just think with their schedule, I think there's other teams are just simply better than them. Next up, I got the Bucks. I got them at 9-8. I think they have a good squad. I think what y'all just said, there's parity this year in the NFL. I think there's gonna be a lot of teams that are have improved, and it's gonna be a tough run. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think they can have a couple more wins for sure. I think just again based on their schedule alone, the division inside the division is not so tough. It's the other games outside of it that had me thinking that way. Good squad. We'll just see if Baker can keep up doing what he did last year, which is I guess it's not necessarily hard to trust, but uh, just just kind of want to see it again. And then I took the bait. I gave the Falcons a 12-5 record. And a lot of this too is I guess I'm on the wagon with them, like as far as like they have so much talent, and the offense, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and they haven't they haven't produced. And I feel like they've always struggled not having a quarterback, and with Cousins being there, with him being a gunslinger, I just think that they're like the Pitts and the well, what's her
Drake London.
There you go, London.
Yeah, Drake London.
With him, and then you got Bijan as well.
True.
I think with a coach last year, he didn't necessarily use them, or at least Bijan in the particularly right way. And just I don't know. I think they're just kind of revamp the system. And when you have a gunslinger like Cousins, I think that can definitely improve a lot of these guys' stats and make them a little more better. Plus, the additions on defense, which they definitely need to fill those holes. I mean, those are some good moves, and yeah, I think they can keep up in the NFC this year. I really do. So we will see. I know I don't believe in the script either. So
oh, I thought we were going to save that for the end of the show. Okay, but once we were completely different.
I know. Come on.
This division's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. I don't think the Saints have improved that much, if at all. But all right, so I'll just go and I'll just continue the trend. But I have the Saints finishing last. I don't think this is a good team at all. 6-11. I got the Saints going. Like you guys were saying with their schedule, I mean, their first.
Yeah.
Okay, they play Carolina at home, at Dallas, Philly, at Atlanta, at Kansas City, Bucks, Denver.
Yeah, tough start.
I mean, and that's one of those where you got to give somebody a win. So I gave them a win week 1 just because they're playing at home. And Carr, I think they won 4 or 5 to finish the year. But yeah, I've wasted too much fantasy capital on Derek Carr the last couple of years. And I can't do it anymore, man.
Yep.
It was like Trevor and Carr are the 2 quarterbacks I've lost a lot on hoping for.
And we'll be discussing both of them tonight.
Yes, that is correct. And Olave's great. I think he's going to have another big year. If Carr could just play consistent, he'd have 110 catches and 1,300 yards easily. But I mean, he still had like 92 last year. So But Dennis Allen, I think, is the first head coach fired this year. That's my prediction.
I can see that.
He's had a losing record everywhere he's been, every single year. And, yeah, the defense is good, but the offense has got to help him out. In third, with a 6-11 record as well, I have the Panthers. I think they're going to get better. I like Canales. You saw what he did with Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't he with the 49ers before?
Yes.
He went, yeah. So, okay, did some work with Jimmy G, and I don't think he worked with Purdy, but they got Deontay Johnson in the trade with the Steelers. I really like the draft pick of Jonathan Brooks, the running back from Texas.
Yeah, if he's healthy.
Yeah, if he's healthy, but keep him fresh. Chuba Hubbard can keep the running game, I guess, kind of functional. But this is a big year with the way that teams are getting impatient with quarterbacks. So I think that Bryce Young's on the hot seat a little bit. So.
Oh no, he's got a couple more years.
Do you? You think so?
Yeah, I don't think there's any pressure on him at all this year.
Well, I think he's got to get a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
Xavier Legette will be a better receiver than Deontay Johnson by the end of the year.
And he'll still have his security blanket and Adam Thielen. So,
sure.
I think it'll be better. And this team will get better because I think Canales is a good coach. But in third, I have the Bucks going 9-8. I just don't I don't think that Tampa's gotten worse. I think they've gotten better, like you guys said, with the second year of familiarity and everyone's gotten paid. Baker's finally in a system for more than a year, more than a couple games. And he played really good last year. Rashad White had a bust out year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think this division is really tough, and everyone's going to beat each other up. And, they got some big games on the road. I mean, watch out for that Week 12 matchup at New York. Oof,
I know,
Giants,
right?
man, going to give it to you. Going to give it to you. But
Daniel Jones.
Jeez, I'll get to him in a minute.
If he's even if he's still starting by then, we'll see.
Yeah, did you see this on a Speak today? They were talking about should the Giants bench Daniel Jones, and Emmanuel Acho was like, yeah, they should, because if they play him, it's a lost season. And it's like, well, I mean,
you got to see what you got.
You got to see what you got. And he's saying like the locker room's going to be divided, and it's like, well, who's your alternative? Drew Lock or DeVito? I mean, come on.
Lock's hurt right now too.
And Lock's hurt, yeah. So I mean, yeah, that was really stupid. That pick six, like T said, I think it was some high school shit right there.
It was
pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm glad.
But again, just the preseason. So
yeah, and he hasn't played, in over a while. But that's just kind of like a mental thing that you just gotta not do. Take the safety, or just get rid of the damn ball. Don't stand there. Anyways, but let's get back. I'm with T. I'm taking the bait on the Falcons, but I got them going 11-6. I just like what they've done. Kirk Cousins will get you to the playoffs. Any Atlanta offensive player is worth drafting this year. Pro Football Focus has the Falcons in the top 5 for their offensive line. Bijan's going to have a huge year. And I think with Raheem Morris being with the Rams, he's probably picked up a few things from Sean McVay, and they're good buddies. So I'm sure he'll be picking his brain. And then, Cousins is coming off that injury too, but they got one hell of a security blanket in Michael Penix. And so I know you gave
less primetime games, so Kirk Cousins can perform then.
Yeah,
as long as he's not on primetime.
Yeah, actually, I have them going 3-1 in primetime this year.
Oh wow!
So, yeah,
dang.
man. Well, I mean, come on.
turnaround.
One of them is against the Raiders.
Why is that game on time?
But I do have them beating Kansas City at home, week 3.
I do say that they'll get tested for sure those first 3 weeks of the year.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh at Philly and against the Chiefs. I mean, that's a pretty tough 3-game test. So we'll kind of get an idea of where they're at, I think, at that point.
Yeah, but I don't think you need to rush on them.
Nah.
I mean, until Cousins really hits his stride. I mean, they got a later bye in the year, so that'll help them out.
Which is always good.
But yeah, I think you got Bijan and Tyler Algier for the running game, man.
Sure.
Pound the rock. But yeah, I think this is the year finally Kyle Pitts is going to live up to the hype. You know, London's going to have a good year, but I think it's Pitts that's going to really click.
Speaking of the hot seat, he's on the hot seat. If Pitts doesn't perform this year, that's it.
Yeah.
Easily.
Totally agree on that. But yeah, I mean, that defense with Justin Simmons, now you're pairing him with Jesse Bates. And what's the corner?
Combo.
What's the corner's name that they have?
Oh,
but he's a solid number 1.
Give me a sec. I got it.
Hurry.
Come on. Okay. I know I'm thinking of golly.
Clemson?
Terrell?
Yes.
AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell, yes.
Yeah.
I like that kid. But yeah, I think it's just going to be a fun team. And a lot of Atlanta's big games against tough opponents. They have quite a few of them at home. And those Atlanta, it's going to be a fun year in the ATL, at least for the football team.
Yeah.
We don't know about the baseball team yet, if we have a team left by the end of the year. So, all right. Well, with that, let's just keep it on going. Keep it on going with that Rizzle Dazzle.
There you go.
Requiem.
Skibidi
Riz. Yes. We are learning new shit all the time here. So could you Skibidi Riz a tree? Or
sure.
is that illegal?
Go for it. That's what I say.
Well, what does that mean I'm doing?
You don't want to know.
Okay, well, see, that's why I asked.
Just go tell one of those Gen Alpha kids I'm going to Skibidi Riz that tree. See what happens.
Yeah, the more you say it, dirty it sounds.
Yeah.
Like, do it in your deep voice, Brian.
I'm going to go Skibidi Riz that tree.
That just sounds so good.
See, here you go.
Yeah.
Watch this. I am Skibidi Riz.
What are y'all doing to me, man?
Option free on that.
Yeah.
That's all, Ryan. All I did was play the Taco Bell.
Right.
That's it. So, all right. Well, let's Skibidi on Riz into the AFC South.
Yes.
Go ahead, Ryan.
All right. Keep it with the trends. Let's start at the bottom. So it's tough for me because I hate saying a team is going to suck this bad. But, man, I just don't believe in the Titans at all, man. I got them going 3-14. Oof. And I know that's pretty bad. But, man, I look at their schedule and I think, man, who are they going to beat? You know, when you look at it, it's a tough schedule. And I can't find more than 3 wins. When I look at it, when I look at it, I can't, you know, especially those first 4 games of the year before their bye. I mean, they're going to be 0-4, I think, going into that for sure. So I don't know if they can clean up or not. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, as of now, I don't see them. I get it. They added Tony Pollard. Okay, great. We'll see what that does. You know, I think
you mean your superstar from last year that you could say,
yeah, man, come on.
This is week to go off. And yeah, he did.
Go.
Yeah.
True. You know, surprisingly, I would not mind having him in fantasy though, because I think he'll have a solid year. But
you don't think you think he's gonna start over Tajay Spears?
No, I think it'll be a committee. I think Spears will be the passing down back because that's kind of his strength, really. But I don't think either guy can get 300 carries. I don't see that happening at all. 150, 180 carries each, and Spears will probably catch about 50, 60 balls. So we'll see. But I see it as a full-blown committee for the most part. So, but I get it. They added Calvin Ridley. We'll see what he's got with Mayo thrown to him, Mayo boy throwing. So I'm not sure if Levis can do that, but I don't know. He lost Hopkins, I know, for the first 6 weeks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He's out. So they'll definitely be missing him, but I just don't see it, man. I don't think their defense is that good either. So I don't see them being competitive in many games. So finishing in third place, I have the Colts going 8-9. I do think Richardson's going to come back and have a pretty good year. I definitely think his legs are going to keep him in some games. The Colts always compete, and that's one thing. I think that Shane Steichen's always done is got them to compete, and I think they'll be a competitive team. They'll be in just about every game they play because that's just the Colts' way. It seems they're always in every game. I feel so. Could definitely see them turning that around, being 9-8 or so. But Michael Pittman will have another good year. I think they got a good receiving core. Jonathan Taylor's back healthy, so definitely think having him will play a big role in that too, and how their offense performs. So we'll see. Second place, I have the Jags also going 8-9. I just don't know that I feel they're, kind of the hype has always been around Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, and I'm kind of like with you, Sean. I just don't know that I can buy into that hype anymore for them. So they lost Ridley. They added Gabe Davis. Is there really a difference? I mean, maybe could say that, but I don't know that I see them doing much. I don't like their defense a whole lot. I don't think they're going to perform as well as they did last year. I like Etienne having a pretty solid year for them. Another 1,000-yard season, I believe, for him. So Lawrence, I just think he is what he is. He's a probably mid-tier quarterback that's gonna do decent, but I just don't know that he's ever gonna take him to that level. So I just think that's his ceiling. So it's unfortunate because I think a lot of people had, a lot of people thought highly and had high expectations of the Jags, and they just really haven't lived up to them. So, and I don't see it again this year. So, first place, I have the Texans going 11-6. I feel they just kind of, I think they definitely have the most talent on paper when you look at that team. CJ Stroud, sophomore year, they probably got maybe the best receiving core in the NFL, honestly. Best top three guys in Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell. Running game, they added Joe Mixon. Great addition there. Good veteran running back that can get the job done. Knows what he needs to get done. Beefed up their offensive line a little bit. Defense might be a little suspect, but I think with D'Amico Ryans there, you always kind of count on the defense because he'll have them playing at a high level regardless. So I definitely think the Texans are coming in as a Super Bowl contender this season. I did like that they added Danielle Hunter. I will say that I thought that was a great addition to their line as a pass rush option too as well. So that'll help them because they need some pass rushing for sure. But yeah, just I like the Texans in this division. I don't think really any of the other three teams compete with them on paper or on the field. So we'll see.
Colts and Titans each only have one primetime game?
Yeah. I'm surprised the Titans do it all, honestly.
Well,
and I get it. The Colts,
they get to go to Miami.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Crazy.
And the Colts are at the Jets.
Yeah, that's more or less Aaron Rodgers game, probably. So.
Yeah. Texans are going to be scary good. Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. That's a good pass rushing combo right there.
Yeah.
All right, T, take it away.
Let's see. Start with the obvious. Titans in last place, but I have them at 5-12 though. And I think 3 of those wins they're down, and probably when Hopkins comes back, they're down and they just throw the ball basically the entire game, and sneak some games out with like a last second field goal. I don't know why, but I just feel like they can sneak out maybe 5 wins. They just haven't. I feel like they lost a pretty good coach. With Hopkins being hurt to start the season, that's not the way you want to begin. I don't think they have a run game at all. Levis, I think, can sling the ball, but I think there's still a lot we need to see. He made some good passes last year. He had some good game-winning drives and come from behind drives into their games and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I think the verdict's still out on him, and it's in a division that's, I think, it's got more talent than even conference. Has got a lot more talent and better teams than the Titans. Next, I have the Colts. I have them at 9-8. I think Richardson kind of brings a spark to the team. I think Josh Downs is probably going to be a fantasy sleeper to a certain point. I think he'll just get overlooked, but I think he's going to produce. I don't think they have much of a tight end or strength at tight end on that team. So I think if Jonathan Taylor can kind of come back to form, and much like Ryan just said, they always compete and they're always in games. And I think I think this division is going to kind of beat up on each other a little bit, and it's usually kind of how it works. It's like they usually Texans and Colts usually split. Jags and Colts kind of split just depending on the way their seasons are going, but I don't know. I think they can be a surprise, and I think they can kind of be in the mix there. They might even win a couple more games out of just if they get on a good run. But it's a tough conference. Next, I got the Jags. I got them at 9-8, kind of the same thing. I think there is some talent there. I think they're going to wash away last year as far as kind of just how it all went, and maybe a fresh start for them. Maybe a couple of different changes of face. Not having necessarily like 2 number 1 receivers or stuff like that. Now they just have Davis to kind of come in and fill in. He knows his role. ETN, I think, can have another solid year. But I think I don't know. Again, they beat up on each other in this division. They've always have. So I think they can sneak in some wins that'll put them up there with around 9 wins. And then I got the Texans, which is the obvious. I mean, pretty impressive what they did last year, and for them to go and add as many pieces as they did, and being a division that's not necessarily as all that strong. Again, it's a competitive division, and like I was saying, is like they will compete against each other really well, probably beat up on each other quite a bit. That Texas team looks pretty good. Are they good enough to make a Super Bowl run? Yeah, I think maybe. I think they're better than, say, a few other teams. Maybe, like I said, like the Bills. Maybe even be able to beat the Dolphins, which, well, you know what? I would take them over the Dolphins in a playoff game because depending on the weather. even though it's indoors or it's going to be in Miami. But I still would. But I think the Texans got a really good squad, and I think they are on the up and up, and I think they're an exciting team. It's going to be fun to watch them.
What did you say their record?
11-6.
11-6.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd give them 12 wins, but again,
I
think
how much is Will Levis's cologne cost, you think?
$30.
75.
75. Wow.
I don't know, man. I don't know how much cologne costs.
I mean, just throw some Brut in a jar of mayo, and there you go.
Well, sounds like your thing.
That's sick. Like that commercial, man. I'm like, come on.
Dr. Pepper and drink it on down.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Cilantro.
God. We're gonna try all that during boys trip. Come on.
I mean,
yeah,
you can try it all you want.
Yeah.
And when you leave, you can take it with you. Or
no, it is the RTS show, so yes, R can start. R can start. So, all right. Well, I'm with you guys on the Titans. I have them in last at 4-13. I'm like you, Ryan. I'm like, where do you give them a win? And it's just, I don't know.
It's hard.
Levis has got a lot to prove. So okay, is he on the hot seat?
No, he hasn't been dealt the best hand. I mean, new coaching regime, and what have they put around him? Really, I get it. He has. I mean, Hopkins and Ridley are decent receivers. To have around you, obviously. But I mean,
take away his run game. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you add a receiver, cool. You take away his run game. I feel like you get no improvement.
Yeah, I mean, they lost a Hall of Fame running back, one of the best backs of our generation.
Right.
But in the world, I'm going to sit here and think that like Tony Pollard is going to put up any kind of numbers compared to, or if that's even a threat to the defense.
No, I think Spears will have a good year. But I don't know. It's a new coaching regime. Brian Callahan, right? OC from Cincinnati's there. Yeah. So hopefully he can get Levis going in the right direction. But yeah, I don't know. I think they'll miss Vrabel. The Giants got the Titans defensive coordinator. And he's always had the Titans like in the top 5 against the rush
every time.
Or against the running game. So that'll be a big loss, but it's gonna be a long year in Tennessee. In third, I got the Colts, but I only got him going 8-9. I like Anthony Richardson, but he's still like hasn't played like 20 games between college and the pros.
Yeah.
So he's got, unbelievable talent. Like that guy's awesome to watch.
Yeah,
but
potential's
high.
I
think it's just going to be kind of a up and down squad. He's got plenty of weapons. I hope JT stays healthy. He's a really good running back and fun to watch. And yeah, I think the receiver core is pretty good. Shane Steichen's a really, really good coach. I mean, you got Gardner Minshew paid. So, but I think it all depends on Richardson. If he can stay healthy and he just tears it up, like is the dual threat that he should be, then they could be an outside shot to win this division. But it all depends on him. And second, I am not buying the hype. But at 11-6, I got the Texans. I'll get to the other team in a second. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I think the additions that they've made have been phenomenal over the last 2-3 years. That team is funny how the executive from New England leaves, or the GM comes from New England and turns it around, and there's New England up there with no talent at all. So big mark on Belichick for that. But no, I think they won the division last year, so they're going to have a tougher schedule. and they got some big games on the road. A lot of primetime games. So it's still a young team, but they're going to be in the playoffs, and they could make a very, very deep run. But I'm going to go one more year with this Jags. Man, I'm going 12-5. Fuck it. So I think I'm waiting for Trevor to pop, man. And I think he had a rough year last year, though. You got to admit, he was banged up. So ETN is wonderful back to have, and Evan Ingram finally had his bust out year. But I don't know. This is it, okay?
Is Trevor Lawrence on the hot seat?
Well, no, because they just gave him a brand new
I know,
contract.
right? Exactly. It don't matter. He got paid.
Yeah, but I don't know. I want him to.
That's what I mean.
I want him to succeed. I like him. I root for him. I think he's just a good kid. But I have them finishing strong. I have them finish with a 5-game winning streak to finish out the year. So just I don't know, to throw out, because they have a pretty easy schedule. Tennessee twice, the Raiders, Jets, and Indy. So
that's where most.
What do you have them doing in Detroit, in Philly, at Green Bay, or against Green Bay at home, at Houston, at Buffalo, at Miami? So you have them winning some of those, I'm guessing.
Yeah, losing at Buffalo. I got him beating Houston the first time.
Me too.
At Chicago, loss. At Philly, loss. At Detroit, win. Just, to throw it out there. Yeah.
Detroit. Wow.
And then they come off they have a late bye week, week 12. So I think that'll help them. Pretty much everybody except for the Titans have late buys in this division. So, I mean, it could go either way. But only reason I gave the Jags the division over the Texans was because the Texans' three of their last 4 are pretty tough. They come off the bye week, or even before that, at Jacksonville, the bye week, host Miami, at Kansas City. That's going to be an outdoor cold game. And then they host Baltimore on Christmas Day, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So
on Netflix.
On Netflix, yes. So me and T will be hanging out.
It'll be interesting to see what teams have sealed a playoff spot by then too. I'm sure you won't see anything in week 17 happen, but you never know.
You never know. I mean, it always comes down to the last week of the year. Okay, so if Jacksonville struggles, say they do go 7-10, 8-9, is Doug Peterson fired?
Yep.
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah. If they don't make the playoffs, he's fired.
Oh, they have to.
Mm-hmm.
They have poor back. They have back-to-back games in London. They have back-to-back games in London.
Is that the Chicago, New England?
Yeah. They get Chicago, New England, and London, but then they come home and have Green Bay at Philly, Minnesota at Detroit, and then their bye week. So
that's tough.
That's a tough stretch right there. So, but
what do you think? Do you think he's fired if they go 7-10?
Yeah, I think they got to at least make the playoffs and maybe not get beat bad in the playoffs. But I don't know. I mean, both South divisions are going to be better. There's some really good coaches with some quarterbacks that need to prove themselves to the rest of the league, because not for long is what the NFL stands for, and teams will be moving on from their quarterbacks rather quickly. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a situation like Atlanta where you have 2 quarterbacks that could win you games at any time, because over 60 quarterbacks played last year. So that was fun. That was really fun. We did it late night. You guys survived. T looks ready to go to bed.
I know. I'm surprised.
Been up since 6. So.
Oh.
Dang.
Well.
No nap. So.
No power. No nappy.
Wow.
He didn't get snizzle with the bizzle or whatever. I don't know.
Skibidi.
Yes. All right.
Skibidi Riz.
Skibidi Riz. These people on where they can find us, Ryan.
All right. I'll try not to do my too deep voice here because we might put some people to sleep. But you can find the Real Tree Shakers on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, on TikTok, on YouTube. You can listen to our show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Podbean, everywhere you listen to your podcasts. Please check us out. Please like us. Please subscribe to us. Please comment what you would like for us to hear, what you would like for us to eat on our podcasts. We would even do that. Even if it's spicy garlic Dr. Pepper, we'll drink it. So just let us know.
No, we won't.
I'm going to have to fill out a disclaimer.
We will Skibidi Riz that food. So,
that are before or after the tree.
Yeah.
We'll see. We will see. But yes, we appreciate all of you that listen and follow us on Facebook. We appreciate it all. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Very nice. Very nice.
Poor tree.
Well, what should we do next? Should we do the West, or should we do the North?
We'll
tell you what.
West.
Head west. All right. Well,
go west, young man.
Thanks for staying up late. Well, you guys won't. And nobody. Anyways, whatever. We'll see you next time. This has been the Real Tree Shaker Show. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.